and we're about to process some hydrogen alpha solar images that I took earlier today with a Lunt double stacked 100 millimeter scope, a point gray grasshopper, 5 megapixel camera, and Astro IIDC. So we've already stacked everything. We're going to skip that part and just go straight to the image processing. And I'm going to share my screen so we can just watch. And the website is solarastronomy.org, and this is a real quick and dirty tutorial to allow you to go from beginner level to a little bit higher and get some world-class solar images. So here comes my desktop, and enjoy. All right. Let's hide this. All right. First thing we're going to do is select our images. I've already stacked some from today and using Astro IIDC, and we're going to take these TIFF images into Photoshop and do some stacking. And it's best if you just watch what I do, and I'll try to explain it, but some of it is easier explained by just looking at the screen. So here we go. Here's a full disk hydrogen alpha image. First thing I'm going to do is crop it. Then, let's see, I'm going to change it from a grayscale image to a RGB color. Throw some smart sharpen on it. Around 3.2 pixels or so for full disk H alpha. See, it makes a big difference. Might even go a little further. Okay, so that's good. Now, you got some choices here. You can either go in and do smart sharpen. We'll just do it this way. Unsharp mask, this is called iterative unsharp, just one pixel radius, and a very small amount. And just hit it once, and then hit it a couple more times. This is called iterative unsharp. Kind of cleans up the details a little bit. Then just go right from here to curves, color it, and you're done. This is Ramsden Orange Fire, which is something I use quite a bit. So we'll do this one real simple. And the way I got, by the way, to Ramsden Orange Fire was by going to the default, selecting the red, pumping it up. Putting some more green in there, maybe. Or taking out the green, actually. Then going to the blue and taking it all the way out. And that's basically Ramsden Orange Fire. Okay, and if you like something that you do in curves, you can save it as a preset and just call it whatever you want to call it. That way you can go back to it immediately without going through all that. Now, these eyedroppers down here, this is black point, midpoint, and white point, basically. If you select something that you want to be black, it'll adjust all the other colors to show that as being black. See how that worked? Now let's go back and make it Ramsden Orange Fire. Gives you a nice heavy black background. There's Ramsden Orange Fire. We'll go in here and just do it manually again. Take all the blue out. Put in some green, or take out some green. Okay. Let's try that again. Not that much. Yeah, about like that. And then if you want to add some red, you can. I don't know. That's pretty cool looking. Let's leave it there. And then go in there one more time to adjust the black point. Darken up the background a little bit. Okay, that might be a little bit too dark, but the way to overcome that is to come in here to the brightness contrast and turn it up some. Okay, so now you've got a nice solar image. So we'll save this as a JPEG and move on to the next one. There's a bunch of different ways to process, obviously. Save it as something. Go on to the next one. Now this is a, let's go to another full disk. All right, here's a different way to do the full disks. Go in and throw some smart sharpen on it right off the bat. Same 3 pixels, about 80%. Then instead of processing all together, let's draw a circle around the disk using the magnetic lasso tool. See how it's kind of clinging to the difference in the color? That's how you get a nice circle drawn around the sun. One way to do it, at least. You can also just draw a circle, but that'll require you to be pretty good with drawing circles. Not as easy as it sounds. Right there, I'm having to do it manually because the prominence on the edge of the sun there is not much difference than the surface. And the magnetic tool doesn't really know what you want it to select. See how that one kind of jumped up on there? You can just hit the delete key and remove that, and then do a manual one there to keep it from doing that. Then when you get to the end, it shows that little circle shows up on the bottom right, and you click that, and that joins all the points together. You see it's a little rough right here. So let's go into the modify your selection to smooth, and that smooths it out a little bit. All right. I'm also going to feather the selection. Always feather. So let's feather it about 10 pixels. See what happens with that. Now, whatever I do is only going to affect the surface area. So adjustments, levels. I'm sorry about whatever that static is. I'm not sure what's causing that. There you go. Bring it down the levels a little bit. We can see how that looks. See, it gives you a nice, nice transition. All right. Then we've done that. Let's reselect it. Maybe a little brightness and contrast. I don't know. That's too dark. How about some more contrast? Okay. Now, deselect. Let's put some color on it, see what it looks like. This is one I saved from earlier. Okay. Not too bad. We can also go in here and smart sharpen. I've saved a routine here that's 2 iterative unsharps together. And if I just click that action and play it, it'll do 2 of them, one after the other. Okay, I might just leave that as black and white. I don't know. Image, let's give it a new color. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's do this. Let's just make a manual color. Take the blue out. Add some red. Come here and do it. Now let's mess with the green a little bit. I tend to go for these orangish reddish colors. If you go with the native H alpha color, it's just about impossible to see because red is very difficult for the eyes to see. Let's go with that. Okay, now let's pick a black point. Curves. Black. Black. There you go. Darkens up the background real good. Maybe brighten it up some, or maybe we can brighten it up with levels a little bit. Yeah, too bright. How about something like that? All right, let's jump in here and crop this image. We're done with this one, in my opinion. This is just quick stuff. This is not Alan Friedman. This is just quick Stephen Ramsden style. So let's crop it and maybe play with the contrast a bit. I don't know. Pretty sweet image. Done. Okay, 3 minutes start to finish. You're done. Save as JPEG. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. What else do we have left here? These are all raw data images. Let's do the mosaic of the big filament that was there earlier today. This filament, this is about half of it. It was 450,000 miles long, roughly. So let's do a little processing on this. This is a higher focal length, so it's a little bit closer in image. Let's start out with some smart sharpen. We're going to use a little bit stronger settings than we did before. So we'll move it up to about 8 or 9. Not too much, but something to get something done. You know, so let's try that. Okay, and then maybe even another go with the smart sharpen at the lower setting. It's just sort of like wavelets and registax. Basically the same thing. You don't want to introduce noise, but you don't want to leave any data undone. Let's do that. It's a little too much, so we'll go back the way it was. All right. We've already changed it to RGB color. Let's do some levels. This is real quick and dirty processing. I wouldn't call it dirty. It's just quick. Okay. All right, maybe turn it up a little bit. Okay. And maybe some unsharp mask with a little higher setting. Let's see what that does. A little too much sharpening. We'll try that. Very subtle differences in sharpening. Okay, so let's go to the other side of that filament and do the same thing to it. Brightness, contrast. This is the right side of the filament. I had to do the mosaic. It was so long. Let's change it to an RGB. Levels. Okay. Smart sharpen with the, ooh, look at that. That's nice. I like that. Obviously, there's some difference there. So what we're going to do is copy this. Well, first I'm going to select it. Then I'm going to feather it about 30 pixels. Copy it. Go to this other one, double its image size, camera size. So we can paste it on here. And we'll try to match it up if we can. You fit on screen. And I forgot to anchor it. So we'll just double the image, the camera size again. 200 width. Oh, yeah, I just did that again. Canvas size 200 and anchor it to the left. That's what we're not doing. Okay. View. Fit on screen. Edit. Paste. Let's see. That goes right about there. Okay. Now we can try to match the brightness. That's pretty darn close. Okay, so let's crop this so it all looks nice and pretty. Like so. Fit it on the screen. I might have to crop it one more time just to get rid of that top. All right. Image crop. Now, let's move this out a little bit. Make sure we got a nice, good match. Man, that is pretty sweet. All right, and you can also reduce the transparency in the top one to see if it's matching up right. And it's pretty good. All right, so let's flatten this image. All right. What's that? Select, deselect. Man, there you go. You got a nice mosaic. See if we can work on it some more from this angle. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. Let's see. Blow it out. Take it back. Blow it out. See what you're missing. Right about there. Now let's throw some color on it. I'm using curves. So let's do that. And you're really basically done right there if you want to. Let's take the green, get rid of some of that. Man, that's ferocious. Okay. So let's go with that one. All right, and you're done with that one. Save as. Get a JPEG. And you're done. Okay, we already did that one. It was part of the mosaic. All right, now let's knock this one out. RGB color. adjustments, levels. There you go. About there. Now, probably need to mask off the surface layer here. It's way overexposed, obviously. So we'll come through here with the magnetic lasso tool. Up here, here, here. Now check this out. I'm going to nudge it left a little bit. So I got a nice spicule layer there to deal with. Feather. I don't know, let's feather it about 20 pixels. Now, something cool you could do if it looks terrible like this one is just invert it. And now you're a superstar. So let's invert it and then turn the brightness up a little bit. So it's a nice smooth transition. Look at that. That is just awesome. Okay. Deselect. Might have a little too much spicules going on there. Let's reselect. And that's okay. So we'll do that. And this image crop, we haven't even sharpened anything yet, so let's hope it gets to look good here in a minute. We'll try smart sharpen. Holy cow, that's a nice one. Okay, I like that. And let's go for unsharp mask. That might be a little too much. Let's knock it down to the iterative levels of unsharp mask, which are very low. Well, you do it 2 or 3 times. Man, that is something there. I like that. Sometimes they just jump out at you. Okay, let's go to curves and see if a different black point will make any difference. I don't want to go too far with it. Let's see. Nah, I like it the way it is. All right, so you can either save it like that, or you can throw some color on it. Anything you want to color it. Orange fire. Let's go. It was a little too dramatic. Let's try. You know, it's just up to you. Whatever you like. I'll go with that one. And choose save. You know what? I don't like all those spicules, so I'm going to come in here and mask this off again and take out some of that. That's crazy. All right, let's do that, that, that. Always feather everything. Feather, let's feather it 3 pixels. Edit, cut, edit, paste, and just kind of move it over a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, right about there. All right, cool. Then let's flatten the image. So yeah, you can come back from stuff. I've been doing this a while, so I'm great at repairing mistakes because a lot of my images are terrible, but they end up looking pretty good. So let's go with that. Image crop, file, save as JPEG. Saving it, and then you got a beautiful prominence image, twisted prominence, solar tornado, they call it in the media. So let's get rid of that. Here's one that's kind of dark and focused horribly, so let's change it to a RGB. Oops, not CMYK. Change it to an RGB image. Just smart sharpen. That's probably way too much, but we'll try that anyway. brighten this bad boy up a little bit, man. It's depressing. There you go. All right. And it wasn't focused very well, so you're not going to be able to do a whole lot more sharpening than that. Yuck. How about... Yeah, this is just a terrible image, so I'll tell you what, we're just going to dump it. See you later, terrible image. All right, let's try this one. Let's sharpen this one first. That's a little too much. Down here. That's nice. You got to make that choice again. Are you going to mask off the disc and darken it up a little bit, or are you just going to go with what you got? We'll just mask it off this time using the magnetic lasso tool. There's a nice little faint prominence. See if we can get through here without... Okay, good. All right, keep going. Yeah, that one was nice and clean because the disc was pretty bright. Okay, so let's tap it over a little bit using the arrow keys. Okay, and this time we won't feather quite so much. Let's feather it to 5 pixels. And go in here and adjust the levels. Look at that. Boy, that's nice. Okay. If you want to get all crazy, you can invert the image here. Hey, look at that. But we'll stick without the invert this time. Usually when you see the inverted image, it means that the original image is so bad they couldn't do anything else with it. See, that feather is a little bit too short. So let's step backwards. And feather it again. Modify, let's feather it 10, maybe 15 pixels. Then do it. Let's see what happens. Levels. Okay. Select, deselect. Yeah, see? The longer feather just got rid of that. Me likey. All right, now a little unsharp mask. Maybe 2 or 3 of those. And I'm happy. So let's go in here and change it to a color image. If you want to color it, you don't have to color it. It doesn't matter. Really, it's personal taste. Sometimes I don't color any. Sometimes I color them all. I've got some pre-saved ones in here that clearly don't work as well on some images as they do others. Let's just leave this one black and white. Save as JPEG. Save. Oops, I closed the wrong file. All right. Now, this one looks like it might just need nothing except a smart sharpen. There you go. Image adjustment. Levels. Image adjustment. Curves. And you're pretty much done. Do that, and then maybe go in and brighten it up a little bit. Boom. All right. Save as JPEG. My scopes are not really set up for close-in views. I've got a real fast 100mm f5, f7, and it does best on full disc. But you know, we'll process these anyway and see what it looks like. Here's a nice one. Let's see what happens here. This is with a f5 or 5x Barlow, so this is well beyond the limits of my scope and today's scene. And this magnetic lasso is going to have a tough time locking in on anything, so we're going to have to manually do it, basically. And lots of feathering on this one. All right, let's do that. Huh. Looks like a bunch of waves there. Let's do that. That's my dog growling in the background. Charlie. She wants me to get off the computer. Yeah, that's one of the worst selections I've ever made. Let's smooth it. Okay, see that smooth takes out a lot of the bumpiness. Nudge it down a couple of pixels. Put a nice generous feather on it. Let's feather it 20 pixels. And then levels. Something down there. Image, brightness. You don't want the surface to be the highlight of this image. You want the prominences to be the highlight. Let's do that. Deselect. Look at that. That's nice. Okay, so smart sharpen. It's going to take a ton of it. Not that much, though. Yeah, that's looking good. Unfortunately, it also sharpens the Newton's rings, but that's just the way it is. Those happen with a big f7 scope and a 5x Barlow. They also come from the camera sensor. There's really no way to avoid them with my setup, but here we go. I'm pretty excited about this image already compared to what it was. Let's see. Let's do a couple of iterative unsharp masks. Now let's see if we can get a black point in there to knock out some of that mess in the background. Yeah, that's too much. Let's try another spot. Nope. 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 So let's just cancel that. We'll use levels to bring it down a bit, blacken out the background a little bit. See? You don't want to lose the prominence. Yeah, we'll go with that. Me likey this too. I wish I could get rid of these rings. There's more complicated methods to do it, but that would put you beyond the 3-minute processing time that I suggest. There's nothing to this, so if you're spending more than that on it, you know, that's up to you, of course. Let's change it to a color image. Let's choose some curves that we like. Let's take away the blue. Put in some red. Sweet. Let's take some of the red out of the background. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Maybe a little green. Take some of the green out of the darker colors. Add some green into the brighter colors. I'm pretty happy with that one. Look, compared to what we had before, that is a phenomenal change. Thank you, Photoshop. So save as JPEG. Oops, let's give it a new name. Save. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's crop out this crap on the side of it. It lets everybody know you feathered everything, so crop. Much better. Save as. JPEG's, but good for Facebook. Facebook's going to tear the image up so much anyway. You might as well save it as JPEG. Save yourself some time. So here's a gamma low disk image, and here's a gamma high disk image. So I'm going to show you one other technique that a lot of people use, and that is sharpen this bad boy up some. Just go with about a that much, like so. Okay. Levels. Okay. Just you looking at the prominences in this image. Now this is a pretty good image, just the way it is. I'm going to crop it like this and just save it because it does look pretty good. Image, crop. Let's save that as a JPEG while we're here. JPEG. Okay. Now, over here, let's smart sharpen this one. What we're going to do is take this disk and put it on top of the disk. You know, a lot of people do a separate disk and prominence run just for this purpose. We are going to combine them together so you can see what it looks like. Let me go down just a little bit with the levels again because I got this prominence showing over here. You want to get a nice clean edge with nothing on it. If you can get rid of the prominences, you'll be doing good. Close enough. Now let's use the magic wand tool. Select it, invert the selection, smooth it, get rid of these bumps over here. Smooth it by 50 pixels. Okay, see it's nice and captured it. Now contract it a couple of pixels. You'll see why. I want it to be a little smaller than the actual disk. And then feather, just a real small amount this time. Let's feather it 2 pixels. Now copy, go over here, paste, stick it up here. This is how you combine an image. Now you see it's a little smaller, and this is natural because the chromosphere is overexposed in the prominence image, and you're overexposing the spicule layer, so it's wider. There you go. Check that out. That's how you combine a surface image on top of a prominence image. Let's flatten that. Boom. Look at that. That's a nice looking H alpha image right there. That'll get you a Astrophotographer of the Year award, won't it, Alexander Hart? Okay. Let's tinker a little bit more with the background, try to darken it up some if we can. Look at that. That is just really nice. It's real nice. Let's save this one as a JPEG too, just in monochrome. Charlie's over there whining. She wants a treat. All right, now let's throw some curves on it. Oops, got to change it to a color image first. Mode, RGB color. Curves. Ramsden orange fire. Boom. Done. File. Save as. JPEG again. Give it a different name. Doesn't matter what it is. Blah, blah, blah. Save. Okay, and there you go. That's 2, 3, 4 different ways to process images. And then you can just drag all your TIFFs to the garbage. And it's not real until somebody puts it on Facebook. So let's get a Facebook window up here. Hey, Facebook or Google Plus. Let's make a photo album. Call it Google Plus Hangout results in hydrogen alpha. February 7th, 2015. Okay. Now let's add some photos. Desktop. That. Now where do the H alphas start? Here. Here. Whoa. Nice. Okay. That's not H alpha. That's not H alpha. All right. Right about there, I guess. All right. Let's throw all those in there. And while this is uploading, I'll switch back over to camera view and say thank you for watching. And I hope that you could pick up some tips here. Like I say, I'm not the greatest processor in the world, but I'm good enough, brother. So if you're interested in more of this, come on over and join us at the Charlie Bates Solar Astronomy Project Facebook page or Google Plus page, or you can go to our solar chat forum. Our main website is solarastronomy.org, and it's got links to all those things right there at the website. I appreciate you watching, and don't forget to send me an email, sramsden@solarastronomy.org, SRAMSDEN @solarastronomy.org. We're going to sign out from Atlanta now. Adios.